Hey Drew, just looking at your booklet, I was experimenting with this, making this 12 point and also including the introduction word over here. So maybe the problem with them being bigger is that they're so close to the edge where it trims that they might get trimmed off. So, maybe making them a little bit smaller, 12 point, closer to that white line or the black line on this page would be a good idea. I think choosing a size for how wide these boxes are and keeping it consistent throughout. So I went with 5.58 on this. And maybe just keeping this, I think this was a little bit bigger, so maybe just sizing this down to 15 to keep it consistent throughout the booklet for the body copy. Also this left justified with the last line left aligned is a good choice for your text. Maybe moving this up or just tightening this up. Using these center lines is always a good idea to make sure everything's perfectly centered, and then center it kind of vertically and horizontally on the page is a good idea with everything that you bring in. This must be locked down. And so like just changing these, I think I changed this on my own, I think it's still 15. But changing the alignment, changing the width of the box itself, which you will have to grab it with the white arrow tool to change it. I did size this down too, sizing this down so that the effective PPI is around 250 at least. It's still 5 inches wide, so still totally seeable by the person viewing the booklet. Once again, pushing shift on the keyboard to select multiple things and just making sure everything's center aligned is a good idea on every page, and then centering it horizontally and vertically together on the page is a good idea. So yeah, with this one you didn't have this here, so just copy paste this, put it over here. If you're going to put little words under each of your works, then I would definitely do that. Maybe even on these other pages. So this would be like your self-portrait project. You could mention, you could say some Photoshop self-portrait or something, and this one could be, Illustrator logo or logo design or something. And just add those in underneath each of your images. Also, like most of your images have a white border, so just make sure you add those in. Make sure the stroke is the same on each of them. So if you're going with 3 points, just keep it 3 points throughout the whole booklet. Looks like this one's 3 points and this one's 3 points. You did have red on one page that had red on the green, and it didn't look quite right, so definitely change that to white, and then change the alignment and that kind of thing. If you want to check for spelling, just do edit spelling and then make sure dynamic spelling is actually checked. And then, push W on your keyboard and it'll give you red lines. If you want to go to view grids and guides, you can do hide guides just so that you can see a little bir better. You're going to need to capitalize Photoshop, capitalize InDesign and Illustrator every time you've used that. This is spelled wrong, so just kind of go through. InDesign is spelled with a capital I and a capital D. So, and if you put Adobe in between or before these, then keep it consistent and add Adobe before every instance of either Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. Or just take Adobe out. And if you are putting Adobe in there, make sure to capitalize it because it is a company. So I would just suggest just taking it out, or because it seems like you have more instances without the Adobe in there than you do with. These are 4-point strokes, so we probably want to change them all to like 3. If you push shift on your keyboard, you can select multiple and change it to, oh, actually that didn't really work. Guess you can't do it that way, or maybe you can. I guess it did work. Okay, yeah, and put them all on 3 so that you just have a 3-point stroke on everything throughout. So it's consistent, and making sure that you have the same width of text boxes, maybe even lining these up, which I think you did on these pages, which is good. Maybe doing the center line on them just to make sure everything's center aligned. Changing the alignment on the text boxes. like I showed you earlier, fixing any spelling errors, adding in these little things that you've had, just keeping it consistent. You know, if you're going to use these little boxes with this font, use it on every, and making sure that all of your strokes are 3-point or thereabouts on every image. And these are all 3. So yeah, this is spelled wrong there. Sometimes these lonely words too don't look very good. It's maybe just, you know, widening out that text box so that you know, there isn't one word at the end. Make sure to put periods in too. I noticed you're missing kind of a lot of periods. This is a lonely word with also no period there. You know, I understand this box is probably not going to be as wide as some of the others, but you can still use the same alignment. I think you have 2 spaces after each period, just kind of a nitpicky thing, but you don't need 2 spaces necessarily. So yeah, just some simple things, nothing major, but yeah, it looks good. Just check the spelling, get the alignments on every page looking right, change the text box alignment, and just making sure that you capitalize Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, and maybe get rid of Adobe altogether. And yeah, I think if you did that, you would be good to go. Okay, talk to you later.